We had seen that as well, and now he is there on ground. He'll be staying the night in Varanasi. Talking specifically about Varanasi, this is the town which is the temple town, as we have been saying. The Prime Minister has visited pole-bound Uttar Pradesh repeatedly. We did see him travel and for the foundation stones for several projects worth crores of rupees. Then he had traveled to Prayagraj as well and also on December 13th, 2021, he had inaugurated the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. The corridor which certainly goes with the BJP's pitch of Hindutva along with development. Shivani is joining me as well. Shivani, where exactly are you? And we can see Prime Minister's cavalcade now moving. This is a 3.5 kilometer stretch, but it looks like that this is going to be a long road show.
Absolutely. You were talking about the Kashi Vishwanath Dham corridor. Maria, I'm joining you from there itself. There's a lot of excitement here amongst the devotees that have been coming here. I've been here for a few hours now, and a lot of people have been coming here, and a lot of them have been asking us just when the Prime Minister is expected. I just want to ask my VJ to just show us around as well. So this is, of course, the entry gate of the Kashi Vishwanath Dham corridor, the newly constructed one that the Prime Minister inaugurated only a couple of months ago. And right behind me is where the whole entire causeway, the entire stairway goes as far as the Kashi Vishwanath corridor is concerned. It's a large, expansive corridor. And of course, this is a corridor that has become a jewel of sorts as far as Narendra Modi and the BJP is concerned. And this is, where the Prime Minister was just a few days ago to pay his obeisance. And today he's expected to come as well and to, basically attend the Aarti at the Ghat as well. So all of that is expected, and the Prime Minister making that final push as far as the BJP's campaign is concerned all around Gorakhpur, Varanasi, the phase 6 and 7. The talk has been about the Yogi Modi factor to maximize it for the BJP, and therefore that final push. This is a battle of prestige as well for the BJP, because they want to not just do well overall in Uttar Pradesh and come back to power, but they want to do as well as last time. That's what Yogi Adityanath told me in his exclusive conversation with CNN News 18 as well. And that's why the final push, as you mentioned, by the Prime Minister in Varanasi, his MP constituency, and then being here for 3 days and making that push because they want to maximize that impact, that Yogi Modi factor, and win as many seats as possible in and around Varanasi. Varanasi is the center, really, as far as the phase 7 districts are concerned, bang in the middle, surrounded by the other districts that go to poll, from Azamgarh on one side to Sonbhadra and others. But they want to expand that sphere in which the BJP's religion pitch, the religiosity pitch, along with the development pitch is maximized. And what better to make that pitch than that Kashi Vishwanath Dham, which has become, as I mentioned, a jewel in this. This is a corridor that is unique because not only has it come about in a city, the most ancient, continuously living city that represents India and Hinduism, but also a corridor that had to go through much difficulty, congested lanes, wires, etc. Lots of people whose property had to be bought and then taken into this entire corridor. And then to have the view of the Kashi Vishwanath Dham temple, the Dham temple directly to the river, the Ganges.
Yes.
That's the most important aspect as far as this entire causeway is concerned. And that's why people have been coming here a lot. Devotees come here from across the country. It's not just about those who live, in Uttar Pradesh or nearby. It is about everyone coming here and paying their, obeisance.
Yes.
And this is the final stretch that's going to decide perhaps what the margin of victory can be.
Yes.
And that is what the BJP is focusing on. The Prime Minister in that roadshow, as you mentioned, is going to take a long time before he can finish it at the Kashi Vishwanath temple, before he can join the Aarti. Already the program is running a little late, and if the numbers are anything to go by in these narrow lanes of Varanasi, it's going to take a lot of time.
Absolutely.
But that's something that the BJP wants to do. He is their most important campaigner, so he's here and he's going to be here tomorrow as well.
The biggest face of the BJP, undoubtedly, and this is that push that the BJP has been hoping for, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be giving to the party. Varanasi district, in fact, for the benefit of our viewers, comprises of multiple constituencies, which includes Shivpur, Jugara, Pindra, Rohania, and Varanasi North, Varanasi South, Varanasi Kant and Sevapuri. There's a long list of candidates as well, and most of these, as expected in 2017, went with the BJP because of brand Narendra Modi. And remember, in those 8 assembly constituencies that the BJP swept, this is what the Prime Minister is doing, that push that is visible now. 50 odd seats now left for the final phase of this 7-phase elections that UP has witnessed for 403 constituencies. It's here also that BJP's challenger Akhilesh Yadav has been holding his rallies. Varanasi and the neighboring districts, they are hoping that they will be able to upset the calculations of the BJP. We have also seen Mayawati, who has been perceptionally missing from the entire election campaign, become active perhaps in the last 3 to 4 phases. And now this important roadshow, crucial in terms of optics, but also in terms of Prime Minister's presence, who will be addressing 2 public meetings. He has already addressed one. There will be a public meeting for tomorrow and a massive roadshow that we are seeing in Varanasi. Varanasi, as Shivani was pointing out rightly, we have seen those narrow by-lanes. It's difficult to move because, you know, as far as the infrastructure of the city is concerned, it revolves mostly around the ghats. The by-lanes mean that you often get stuck in traffic jams, but there has been decongestion also of the city to all of those who would have seen it develop in the last 6 to 7 years. Siddhant continues to be with us as well. Siddhant, we are seeing the movement of the Prime Minister's cavalcade. It's brand Narendra Modi here. We have seen top ministers camp in Varanasi for the last 1 week. Home Minister Amit Shah has been there in Varanasi as well. The message is all hands on deck in this last and final push.
Well, that's right. This is a decisive roadshow by Prime Minister Maria, and to give a message out is a reason that the opposition party leaders are also doing election campaign in this entire region. Almost using the same route, Akhilesh Yadav will be doing his roadshow today evening. He also did a rally with Mayawati with Mamata Banerjee. But the crowd which we could see here and the connect that people of Varanasi have with Prime Minister is different. And this is what I could experience, I could feel in last 24 hours, what I've spoken to people. Now, Maria, there are very small issues which Prime Minister has solved for them, which includes the cable wires. Almost in all the areas, the cable wires have gone underground, and in most of the areas, the work is still going on. Roads, Maria, you go to villages and people are telling me कि इतनी अच्छी प्रधानमंत्री ने सड़क बना दी है कि मिट्टी भी पैरों पे नहीं लगती है. So this is a sentiment, this is the emotion that has come out and that can be seen on the streets of Varanasi today, thanking Prime Minister for what he has done for Varanasi. And they told me very clearly yesterday that आप 2017 से पहले आते तो आपको पता लगता वाराणसी क्या थी, काशी क्या थी, आज क्या बना रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री उसे. So they are thankful with all hearts out, with gratitude. They are thankful to the Prime Minister, and this is the reason, Maria, that Padma awardees are also on the roads today. Banaras Gharana is also on the roads today. Jeweler Association, Shopkeeper Association, they all will be welcoming Prime Minister. They will be, thanking him for all that he's doing for the constituency. So there's an emotional touch. It is beyond a politician and Janta touch. Prime Minister is beyond a politician for them now, and this is perhaps the reason that today's crowd, the expected crowd, Maria, which I was told is 3.5 lakh people on the streets of Varanasi. It's a huge crowd. So this is only possible when people can relate them with you, when you solve their issues, when you solve their जिसे कहते हैं रोजमर्रा के, अगर आप उनके मुद्दे सुलझाते, उनके इश्यूज सुलझाते. So that is a connect that Prime Minister has with people of Varanasi, and this is perhaps the reason that the crowd behind me says it all. Back to you.
Yes. So we can see the Prime Minister there. First, he garlanded the statue of Madan Mohan Malviya, and then the roadshow has begun. The Prime Minister and Varanasi, we were to look at that connect, Shivani. We have seen how it has been of a member of parliament, somebody who's been completely hands-on as far as his constituency is concerned. Visiting Varanasi repeatedly, trying to connect with the booth workers, trying to connect with the influencers of the city, and trying to ensure that he is, despite being the Prime Minister of India, he's also a member of Parliament who is available for his constituents every time. Shivani.
Yeah. You know, the sentiment here that prevails, Maria, is that this redevelopment of the Kashi Dham corridor, and the Prime Minister addressed that when he spoke at the inauguration a couple of months ago, people here too tell me that it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Narendra Modi. Of course, he's the Prime Minister, so you know, any project that he gives the push to receives that much more attention and that much more push. But still, let's not forget the difficulty in achieving this project, because as we earlier mentioned, it was just considered impossible. It was said that this will not be possible to redevelop this corridor. It hasn't been done and it couldn't be possible, but it did become possible, and it happened in record time. Even the inauguration happened a couple of months ago. Nobody really expected that this project would be ready. So the sentiment on ground here amongst the public is that nobody else could have done it. Only Narendra Modi could have done it. And they're of course very, very happy. As far as this project is concerned, locals tell me about the difficulties that have happened. There were about 300 odd families who had to receive compensation for the properties that were acquired as far as the redevelopment of this corridor is concerned. But speaking of the significance of Varanasi itself, for BJP, you know, don't need to underscore it. With the Prime Minister being the MP from here, this has been the most important constituency possibly in India for the last 7-8 years. But this is, of course, the center of the Phase 7 ring of districts that is going to poll, 9 districts that are going to polls, 50 plus seats that are up for stake once again. And every party concerned is making a final push here. Akhilesh Yadav has been campaigning here. He's going to do a roadshow post Narendra Modi's roadshow. Priyanka Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi have been campaigning here. Mamata Banerjee has come to campaign from West Bengal for Akhilesh Yadav. So for everyone concerned, Varanasi is extremely important. And when we talk about Varanasi, of course, it is a matter of faith. Whether that faith element really just pushes the BJP ahead remains to be seen. But that certainly is the impact. I was in Gorakhpur earlier. Gorakhpur, there's Yogi. He's the Mahant of the Gorakhnath Mutt. And here, Narendra Modi is the man who has come out as the savior of Kashi, the most ancient living city across the world ever, and then to redevelop this corridor. So faith is very intricately associated with the BJP's pitch. In Uttar Pradesh, the pitch has been law and order, the pitch has been development, which Kashi Dham corridor also is a significant marker of. The pitch has been free ration, the pitch has been action against mafia dump, which will also resonate as far as Phase 7 districts are concerned, Azamgarh, Mao, etc. So all of that combining gives the BJP, 4 or 5 issues to play with. And you've seen, as we've all been tracking, those are the issues that they've been batting on. But faith, religion, being the icon of Hindutva or Hinduism, or the savior of Hinduism, Hindutva, that plays very well for both Yogi Adityanath, the incumbent Chief Minister, and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Yes, Shivani continues to be with us.